These fools, they'll never learn.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Nice to see you. I haven't done a video like this probably in about 2 months, and I want to start making the monthly videos if I can. That is if I pick up good releases over the course of a month. If I don't pick up any, then there's pointless doing a video. I'm sure we all know, if you're an Asian cinema fan, September is a crazy month for Asian cinema releases, physical media releases. It's, you know, you have to get a second job to afford all these releases that are coming out in September. And then, of course, I think October we have a few, and then November, I believe, is the Shore Scope Volume 3 set from Arrow, I think, in November. But I had a decent, I guess you call it a haul. I had a pretty decent haul recently, so I'm going to quickly go over these and just show you what I picked up. I've got a few interesting things to say about these, especially some of them. I'll get into that in a minute. 88 Films, they have been good to us lately. 88 Films have some incredible releases. The first one being, the one that I picked up, is Holy Virgin versus The Evil Dead. Fantastic cast in this one. Donnie Yen, Pauline Young, Ben Lam, Ken Lo, obviously, pops up in this one. But I have to say about this film, I have not seen it. I owned it on VHS back in the day, back when I lived in the UK and I was a teenager and I was picking up Hong Kong cinema VHSs. I picked this up and I never watched it. I don't know why. It seems ripe for the picking for a teenager. It seems like the type of film that I would watch. But for some bizarre reason, I never got around to watch it. Or at least I don't think I watched it. I could have, but I don't think I watched it. But one thing interesting about this is it's gorgeous. It's very, very, very shiny. Basically, I hate to use that word because it sounds like a child describing something, but it is very, very shiny. Great cover work, I believe. Let's take a look at it. This is definitely Kung Fu Bob. Taking a better look at it. Kung Fu Bob, of course, with the fantastic art. Let's take a look what's on here. 2 versions, including the uncut Cat 3 version. Now, one thing I will have to say about this, there's an uncut Cat 3 version, which sounds wonderful, right? Sounds like there's going to be violence, nudity, everything we all want. However, in the UK, this did get released with a 15 certificate, which means it's not that spicy. It's not that nudity filled, and it can't be that gory because it's a 15 certificate and not an 18, which I found interesting. So, uncut versions on here. Languages, yeah, we know all about that. The Man Behind the Genius, an interview with Lee Ho Kwan. The King of Disco versus the Evil Dead, an interview with Robert Mack, the legendary Robert Mack. If you don't know him, he is in Martial Club. That is an example of a film he's in. And of course, artwork by Kung Fu Bob O'Brien. So really excited to watch this. I'm really looking forward to giving it its first watch. Poster in here, which I won't get out, but I will take the poster out for a second just to reveal the booklet. And then, of course, I will take the disc out 1 second to show you the reversible art. I'm not going to get that out, but there is reversible art. And yes, I will switch the art because I don't like the art matching the box art. I'm just particular like that. I like having 2 different covers. So, really excited about seeing this one. Hopefully, we'll get very good cardboard as well. Very solid. Great release. Hopefully I'll get around to this week. I have heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say it's very good. I've heard some people say it's not that good. But I think the ones that don't like it are kind of not into the whole wild fantasy crazy stuff and maybe lean towards the more logical type of Hong Kong films, like, you know, Straight Up Shapes or modern action or gunplay. Another stellar release by 88 Films is, of course, Island of Fire. Really excited about seeing this. As you can see from the cast here, it's got Jackie Chan, Andy Lau, Sammo Hung, and Tony Leung. That's a hell of a cast. That's one hell of a cast. Very, very impressive. Directed by Chu Yen Ping. And this is again, I have a story about this film. So years and years ago, if you know about the UK, you know that often there are Sunday markets. Sunday markets, I guess you have. So in America, I don't really think we have Sunday markets, but we have the equivalent, I guess. So you know a farmer's market. In America, we have farmer's markets. Well, imagine that, but every single stall sold different stuff and not just produce. Do you have that? I think they do. What is that? I don't know what it's called. Something market? I guess flea market? Is that the equivalent of a flea market? I don't know. Anyway, where I used to live back in Wales, we had a Sunday market. So every Sunday you could go out and you could go ahead and look at some stalls. Now, there were always these guys that sold pirated DVDs all the time. So you go there and you can pick up any new film on DVD. Now, there was another stall that sold strictly VHS. And he would also have pirated VHS. So if you wanted the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Sixth Day on VHS, they would have it before it dropped, like as it came out. But one thing they did also sell is Jackie Chan films. And he had a 3 VHS box set of Jackie Chan films, and it included Island of Fire. I picked up that 3 VHS box set, and I went home and I watched it, and I remember back in the day going, I don't like this film. Now, I couldn't tell you now anything about it. I couldn't tell you what happens. I couldn't tell you what it's about. I couldn't tell you a damn thing. But I remember back then thinking, I don't like this. The reason being is because, as far as I know, or as far as I can remember, not much kung fu in this one. Not much martial arts. And back then, I was just getting into my Jackie Chan groove, and I was really enjoying his kung fu stuff, obviously his famous stunt work and things like that. And this just didn't sit well with me. But that was literally, how old am I? Oh, Jesus, that was probably 17 years ago that I watched this last, so I could not tell you what happens in this. So I'm really excited to revisit it. Just to give you an example of what's on this one, commentary by Frank Zheng and FJ DeSanto, scenes from the Taiwanese version, so not a full Taiwanese release, but scenes from the Taiwanese version, interview with Jack Cow, interview with Kevin Chu, interview with Wang Yu, interview with Sammo Hung, good lord, export and credits, export trailer reconstruction. So a few nice little decent things on this one. I love a Frank Zhang commentary, so I'm really happy about that. And again, this box, 88 films, they are putting out some nice packaging at the moment. Really nice stuff. As you might expect, I'm sure inside, yes there is a poster here. Of course, Jackie on the front of the booklet there. I won't go into the booklet. And then, of course, there's behind the disc. I'll show you. What the hell? Why not? I'm trying to be breezy, but I might as well show you. There is alternate artwork. So, once again, I will switch that over a little later on. I just won't do it in this video. But really happy to have this. I was waiting for this one to come out for quite some time. I pre-ordered it a while ago, and then when it dropped, it got here super fast, and I'm super happy to have it. Again, hopefully we'll watch this in the next week or 2 weeks. 88 films once again hit us with, and I think everyone was waiting for this one, and I was very happy to pick it up because they released a 4K version, which was when they announced the 4K, it was wonderful because it basically told us that they're releasing a bunch of Jet Li films in 4K. So Fist of Legend just got released. We have Tai Chi Master around the corner, and then we have Bodyguard from Beijing, otherwise known as, was this one the Enforcer? No, what one was this one? The Defender. This was the Defender in the Miramax cut. I think it was Miramax. The Defender, yeah, terrible dub, terrible new I think sound design. This is Bodyguard from Beijing. Got this, like I said, in 4K, delicious. If you don't know, it stars Jet Li, Christy Chung, Kent Cheng. Oh, it does not mention the legend himself on the back. Wait. Oh, yes, it does. See, it's Colin Cho who's in this film, but he's also known as Guy Singh. I'm going to say Guy Singh just because it's easier. He's also known as Guy Singh. So I was looking for Colin Cho, but yeah, it's not here. Joey Lung, William Chu, Corey Yoon's in this film? I don't remember Corey Yoon being in this film. I obviously don't remember enough about this film. Weird. Again, a film I haven't seen in a while. But Corey Yoon also did the action. Corey Yoon also directed the film, and I'd just like to say, rest in peace, Corey Yoon. Very sad news to hear that he passed away recently, or I shouldn't say he passed away recently. We got the news recently that he passed away. He actually passed away 2 years ago. Very sad news to hear. An absolute legend. His legacy, it just speaks for itself. His filmography is unbelievable, whether as a director, whether as an action director, fight choreographer. Just an incredible guy. Also, when he popped up in films, he's typically really good. So yeah, rest in peace, Corey Yoon. Very sad. What have we got on this one? So we've got Dolby Vision. Nice. We have Cantonese mono with English subtitles, audio commentary by Frank Zheng, interview with Gordon Chan, original trailer. To be honest, surprisingly, not many special features on this. For some reason, I thought this would be packed. I feel like the Fist of Legend release is a bit more packed than this one. I was actually surprised that this one didn't have more. But, you know, you can't argue. Beggars can't be choosers. You know, it's a wonderful release. Again, poster of the artwork. Speak of the devil. There we have it, The Defender. Which really, I'll be honest with you, I wish they hadn't included this on the booklet. No one wants to remember the Defender release. It's garbage. So I wish they would have gone for something a little bit more different. I understand why they did it, kind of to remind people of the history and that it did come out as the Defender, but I kind of wish they didn't because this release was garbage. Although, back then, it was the only way we got that release, unless you got like a Hong Kong DVD or Blu-ray. Of course, 2 discs, Blu-ray, and 4K. I'm also wondering why this one is 18 certificate. If the other one, if the Cat 3 film is 15, how is this 18? I don't recall being wowed by any particular violence in this one, or especially nudity, but yeah, I wonder why. So I look forward to watching that one. It's been a while since I've watched Bodyguard from Beijing. It's a final fight scene I revisit on YouTube every so often. Great final fight scene with the gas, and they have to cover their mouths. Great stuff. But I haven't actually revisited it for a while, so looking forward to it. Now, this is an interesting release. I actually got this for super cheap. Well, I shouldn't say super cheap. For some bizarre reason, Amazon had... Firstly, this release was cheap anyway, and then they had a coupon on their site for JSA, Joint Security Area. This is the Arrow release. I don't know if originally it came with a slipcase. I'm not entirely sure, but I didn't get it with a slipcase. This is just, I guess, the bog standard release. However, I can't tell you much about this film. I have often gone online onto Twitter and Instagram and asked people for dark Korean film suggestions. I love a dark Korean film. I love a moody, gritty, dark Korean film. And this has been recommended to me on numerous occasions. And so I just decided to pick it up. I think I picked it up in total for somewhere between 14 and 17 bucks on Amazon, I think. So it's very cheap. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I'm very excited. First of all, it's a Park Chan-wook film. Park Chan-wook, obviously, his legacy speaks for itself. He's just an amazing director. So I'm really excited to put this one in the player. And we did wanted to do a dark, gritty film for the podcast this week, but I've actually picked another one. I don't think there's any way for Cyrus to watch this one, and I want to watch it first. I want to be sure that this one's good for the podcast, because I'm not sure it will be, because I believe it's more of a drama than anything else. Packed with special features. This one's a really decent release. 2 music videos. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Behind the scenes montage, archival featurettes about the making of the film and the JSA story. Whole bunch of good stuff. Really looking forward to this. Why has it got reversible art that's exactly the same, it looks like? Let's see. Oh, okay. You get Korean art. That's interesting. You get it in Korean. That's unique. I don't think I've seen that before. Oh. I got a little flyer in this. Nothing important, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Looking forward to this. I love a good Korean... excuse me. Korean cinema is up there. I don't think it can be touched at the moment. The stuff they're putting out is wonderful. So, this one's an interesting release. I'm going to tell a story about this, so please bear with me. I have a bit of a story about this film. So, I have to be strategic because there's something I can't show you on the cover. So let me put my finger in the way. Okay, so I just picked up this release. And this is Urotsukidoji, at least I think that's how you say it, Legend of the Overfiend. This is a Japanese anime film, as you probably all are aware. And in my eyes, it's a bit of a classic. This is... Oh, I can't show you the back. Hold on, I think I can. Okay, there's the back. I just can't show you that picture. This is, if you... I don't know if you can see this, but it is... Oh, wait. It is a beautiful padded media book. This is a padded release. Beautiful media book. And, let me check. I don't know. I've got to be very, very careful with this release because I don't know how much I can show you. Okay, I think I'm safe. Anyway, point being, this is the German media book release. So this is released in German. It does have English subtitles, no English dub. However, let me tell you a story about this. When I was young... Oh, I think I showed the picture. God damn it, I think it was quick. When I was young, this film came on Channel 4 in the UK. And I remember I was on an anime kick at the time. I'd seen Akira, I'd seen stuff like Dominion Tank Police, Cyber City Oedo 808. I've seen stuff, Devilman, Geno Cyber. I've seen a whole bunch of good stuff like that. And this came on Channel 4, and I decided to watch it. And I sat down and watched it, and I thought, wow, this blew my mind. This is one hell of an anime. I'm a big fan of Urotsukidoji right off the bat. And so... it kind of stuck with me that I love this film. And I knew it had certain elements. I knew that it was ultra gory, and it is a very, very violent anime. And I knew that it had a little bit of sauciness in it. It was a bit smutty. It had some boobs here. It had some implied, I don't think it can say this on YouTube, had some implied violence of a certain type. And, you know, from basically demon stuff. You know how it is. You know how very tentacle-centric lovemaking, let's call it. Although it wasn't lovemaking. I'm digging myself a hole right now. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't know how you say it on YouTube. I don't know the rules. But there was some, you know, typical hentai stuff, as you might imagine. But none of it was graphic. None of it was too obscene. You couldn't see any... It wasn't graphic at all, but the violence was super, ultra bloody and gory. So I loved it. You know, I probably watched this when I was 15. Anyway, fast forward, I'm now in my 40s, and I see this drop on, or I see this announced on the internet that it's going to drop, and this German label is going to release it. So I jump at the chance. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, since I was a teenager. So I said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and buy this film. I'm gonna pick up a release, and I'm going to live my childhood again. So I go to pre-order it when it drops, and I announce it on Twitter that I'm going to buy it. And everyone starts calling me, like making fun of me, but in a light-hearted way. A whole bunch of people, I got people even messaging me saying, oh, you're a pervert, give me a nudge, a wink, you're a pervert. And I was just like, I don't remember it being that pervy. Well, I did not know this, but there is a fully uncut version of this film, and that's this version. Let me cover it again. This version has the extended cut. In fact, I can show you if there's nothing on the disc. Yes. So this first disc is the extended cut. And from what I've gathered, I don't know if I can... Oh, I can't show you this. I want to show you the pictures in the booklet because I have never... My jaw has never dropped as much as this. The booklet's in German, so I can't read it, but I can see the pictures, and I was aghast. There are scenes in this film that are depicted in the booklet, and it is absolute filth. Like, way more graphic than I thought it would be. I'm trying to find you a picture that I can show, but I honestly, I'm struggling. It's no, I can show you some of the violence, I guess. That's like a head being blasted off and bloody violence. So I can show you that. I'm glad that there's super violence, but I cannot. Yeah, no, I'm afraid not. It's too explicit. So this film is apparently like X-rated hardcore hentai, and I had no idea. And I promise, I know I'm saying this, and people are like, you knew what you were doing. I honestly didn't. I didn't until people said the uncut version is like real animated pornography. It's the film as well, you know, it's the violence, and the story's great. It's about demon hunters, and from what I can recall, like an overfiend, that's what it's called. An overfiend who's like Satan, essentially, coming to rule the world. Yeah, I little did I know it was this graphic and this shocking. And quite frankly, I bought it anyway. So I'm just gonna throw my hands up. I bought it anyway, and quite frankly, I cannot wait to watch it. I'm really, really looking forward to watching it, especially because I think part of me is reliving my teen years, where I'm just like, I used to love that film, and part of me is like, how bad can it be? How saucy can this film be? How offensive can this film be? And yeah, I'm really, really excited to watch this. I'm probably going to see if I can watch it this week as well, preferably when my wife's out of the house. She will not be watching this with me, or she won't be in the house when I'm watching it, just in case there's there's some Venn diagram where she crosses over into the room that I'm in and manages to see scenes of it. But very excited about seeing that. Very happy to own it, although I will say this, did cost a pretty penny. Not too happy about that, but it's my money and my fault that I bought it, so I can't complain. But yeah, I'm not usually a big anime buyer. I don't own a lot of anime. I own the classics, Akira. I own Cyber City Oedo because I fucking love that shit. There's one of my favorites. Cyber City Oedo is so good. I own Ghost in the Shell, and then of course Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro, etc., etc. All those good ones. Now this one, I don't even think I can talk about for long, because simply, for me, it's just a giant question mark. I picked this up. I'm not even sure why I picked it up. I'm almost baffled why I did. So I picked up this. I don't even know the name. Lee Chang-dong. So the Poetry of Lee Chang-dong, which is a 4-movie set, and it is a beautiful 4-movie set. Very pretty case, packaging, very nice. Why did I pick this up? I'm not entirely sure. Vinegar Syndrome put it. Oh, by the way, Yorotsuki Doji is by a company called Cine Strange. In case anyone's wondering, Cine Strange, Cine Strange. Anyway, back to this. Vinegar Syndrome had it on their website, and I took a look, and I said, I wonder if this is going to be my cup of tea. Recently, I watched a film, I'm sure everyone's seen it by now, Perfect Days, which is quite popular at the moment. Perfect Days, a fantastic film. I watched it, and I was just enamored by it. And I kind of love these quiet, peaceful, sometimes depressing dramas. I just love them. I love, like, there's all these tender moments in them, and a kind of human beauty, if you will. It's not just aesthetic beauty, it's the people and the moments that are beautiful. And I just kind of love films like that. I feel like Lost in Translation. So Lost in Translation, when I watched it back in the day, I say that Lost in Translation was the first film to ever get me into cinema. Not films, but cinema. It's the first film that made me go, I appreciate lighting. I appreciate the character study of this film. I appreciate the small, intimate moments, the looks. I really, really found myself gravitating towards more than just, oh, this film has a sword fight. So as I've evolved, I've kind of come to enjoy these quieter dramas, and I saw this and I watched the trailers for all 4 films, and I just thought, this looks like my cup of tea. So let me go ahead and get the case out. So the films are Green Fish, Oasis, Peppermint Candy, and Poetry. I'm reading these backwards, so that's why I'm pausing. It's not that I can't read. So 4 films. I know, again, nothing about them other than the trailer that I've watched. In fact, this is still in its packaging. Weird. So we got those as a cover. A little bit on the back here. I'm not going to read a synopsis of every film, but yeah, I think just for example, Peppermint Candy is described as a visually stunning exploration of fate. I love that idea. Oasis, one of the most original films of the decade. Poetry, beautiful and moving, a masterpiece. These are all reviews, blurbs for it. So I'm just really excited about watching these. I just want to give them a go. If they don't work for me, they don't work for me. But I'm really excited to get a nice little booklet here. Just some stills, some essays, you know, the good stuff. If you know about Lee Chang-dong and you can drop anything in the comments about his output and what his films are like, then please let me know. I would love to know more. Obviously, I'll know more once I finish these films, and hopefully I'll have more of a, well, fingers crossed, I'll have more of an appreciation for him, just simply because it really looks like my kind of stuff. The trailers looked very, I keep using this word, but human, and I love the human elements of dramas, like relationships, and yeah, I just love that good stuff. But so, fingers crossed I'll get to them soon. Again, I'm not sure when I'm going to get to these 4 films, but get back in the box. There we go. But hopefully I'll get to them soon. Again, beautiful release. Hopefully it's nice. If it's not good, hopefully I can give it away to someone who does like it or will like it. I don't know. We will certainly see. I don't know if I spoke about this one in my last video, so I'm going to go over it really quickly. Vinegar Syndrome announced this. Almost, they announced this and no one talked about it. It's really strange. When this dropped, I was just like, holy shit, this is an amazing release. And no one talked about it. Now, there is a reason why no one probably talked about it. I'll get to that in a second. Do I have to cover the case on this one? A Chinese torture Jesus, that's hard to say. A Chinese torture chamber story 1 and 2 got released by Vinegar Syndrome, and my hands have never moved so quickly to buy this one. It was crazy. Yes, I'm a cat-free fan. I throw my hands up. You know, you can judge me all you like. I love cat-free films. I love cat-free comedies. I love a good sex comedy. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I love a good sex comedy. And this is a classic sex comedy. It's got some violence in it. It's kind of grim and funny. And I've only seen the first one. So, if any of you are wondering what the first one has, now, years and years ago, there was a famous clip going around the internet of a sex scene between a man and a woman, two Chinese people, a Chinese man and a Chinese woman, and it was famously like a wuxia sex scene. They were flying through trees while having sex, and they were announcing particular moves they would do on each other. And it was not graphic, but it was very funny. And you know, it was a sex scene, but they were floating and flying, and that went around my school years ago. And people were like, "Oh god, this is funny as shit. What's this from? What's this from?" And no one back then knew what it was from. It's from a Chinese torture chamber story. So seeing this in crisp HD will be an absolute delight. And I've never seen the second one, so I'm really excited. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about this. Either that or a whole bunch of people picked it up and just aren't admitting it, which is fine. I get it. Maybe I'm an idiot for admitting I own it, but you know, I have fun with these. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Does anyone do commentaries on this? Let's see. Oh, Frank Zheng is on this. Frank Zheng does a commentary for these. That's wonderful. There's an alternate 92-minute Mandarin language edit with newly translated English subtitles. Great. Brand new interview with Wang Jing. Did Wang Jing direct this? Doesn't say. Wait, does it? you know what? I'm becoming at that age where I have to like move things back to read them. You know, when you were just a kid and you do this and just read it off. I'm kind of like that now. I'm such an old man. It's ridiculous. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, brand new interview with Wong Jing. The print is so small, though. The Cat-Free Films of Wong Jing, which is a featurette, it seems. Oh, sorry, a video essay by Justin Declos of the Important Cinema Club. Titillating Torture. Sounds weird. A video essay by Erica Schultz. Oh, I know Erica Schultz. She's awesome. I don't know her personally, but I follow her on Instagram. She's awesome. Yeah, a whole bunch of trailers. Yeah, and a booklet with an essay by Grady Hendrix. So, open up the booklet. Can I show you the booklet? Yes, I can. I think I can. Yeah, I can show you that. No explicit nudity. But there's the booklet. And, oh, it does have some nudity in the booklet. Okay, let me get... Oh, dear. Yeah, some essays and some stills. So yeah, good stuff. Really excited about this. I believe it has reversible art as well. Oh, it does, but it's the same. So let me show you. The reversible art there, can you see that? Is the same as the back of the art of the slipcover. So, all right. So happy about this release. I'm looking forward to it. I'll watch them both again. So if you are a watcher of the Food for Thought podcast, when Devon is away, the boys will play, as we say, and me and Cyrus have done some funny films when Devon's not around. Last time we did an episode on Sex and Zen together, which was a great time. It was a wild episode and very funny in my opinion. Of course, you know, I'm biased because I have fun when we do it, so obviously I think it's funny. But if we ever get a chance when Devon's away next time, we may do a Chinese torture chamber story, which will be a crazy title to do, but we might anyway. I think I just spat everywhere, so I apologize. Last release now. I know this is going long. I do apologize. I can prattle on all day about these films. I forgot who this was released by. Criterion released Farewell, My Concubine. Guess what? This is a film I've never seen. I've never seen this film, and yet I was dying to pick it up because I've heard nothing but good things. It's got Leslie Chung in it, and I'm a big fan of Leslie Chung. I think he's he was a fantastic actor, and he had such gravitas that he brought to roles. He had this emotional weight, and to see him in dramas like these, I'm really excited to watch this. This is the 4K release, so I did pick up the 4K release of this. I also, to be honest, I know nothing about it. This is a complete blind buy for me, which you may all be shouting, what the fuck are you talking about, Sean? Farewell, My Concubine is well known throughout the Asian cinema community. Why don't you know about this film? I don't know. I honestly don't. Somehow I bypassed it. Somehow it's been not even in my periphery. It's just flown by and I just haven't learned about it. So I'm sorry, I don't even know what it's about really, but I'm very excited to see it. Now that may be idiocy to some people. I mean, I know basically what it's about, and that may be idiocy to some people. Why would you buy a film that you've never heard of, never seen? I've heard the what am I trying to say? The hype. I've heard the hype about this. I know that people love it. I know that it's near and dear to people's hearts. But that's what I go on sometimes. Sometimes movie fans, Asian cinema fans, tell me that there's an amazing film out there. I pick it up. Why not? I trust you. I trust you guys. And to be honest, most of the time when you tell me a film's great, it's great. And I've had very few times where you guys or other guys have told me that a film is fantastic and I picked it up and it's been garbage. Very rare. That very rarely happens. Most of the time, it's top tier. So you guys, I lean on. If you tell me it's a good film, it's a good film. So excited about this one. 2 discs. Beautiful booklet. That's really nice. Reversible art. Oh, not reversible art. Just a still in there. Oh, this opened. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, for some reason, this opens... Oh, Jesus. Come on, Sean. For some reason, this opens like that. I don't really know why. That's a very odd choice by Criterion to do that, because why didn't they just leave it as a booklet? That's very odd. But, you know, it's Criterion. They're the kings of this shit, so they can do whatever they want. That's the last one. I'm gonna wrap it up for you. I went for 35 minutes. Good God. Most people do these videos and it takes 10 minutes. I apologize. Thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate you. If you want to discuss these films or other films, you want to give me recommendations, throw some recommendations come my way. Do you know of any human dramas, some depressing dramas about relationships and humanity, and something like Happy Together, One Car Wise Happy Together, proper heartbreaking human drama? Throw that in the comments. Throw anything in the comments. You want to talk about Urotsukidoji? I'll talk to you about Urotsukidoji. I'm not afraid. Pop that in the comments. Why not? So drop me a line. Drop me a line? Do people even say that? Drop me a comment down below. If you like this video and you like what you see on the channel, thank you very much. Please think about subscribing. You know, I love this channel. I love putting the work in. I love doing these little videos. I love sharing everything with the Asian cinema community, and I love the Asian cinema community sharing everything with me. It's awesome. So yeah, if you like what you see, please subscribe. And what I would really like, if you really like this, give me a cheeky thumbs up. That helps. I know a lot of YouTubers say it helps, but it actually does. To get the channel out there, a little thumbs up goes a long way. Anyway, enough of all that bullshit. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care, and I will catch you next time.